Hello everyone, and this is probably the most anticipated review of the entire lineup, and I only have 8 minutes to do it, so let's do all the funny stuff really quick. My friend wanted to put this on. Thank you, Tyler, and yeah, that thing covers everything. So the Mask Guy's antics are next. Let's see what he has to go.
Hey, I just bought a $13,000 Hummer on your mom's credit card, so...
Okay, and that's all the time we have left for the Mask Guy. And if he tries anything else, I'm gonna kill him.
Oh yeah, right. What are you gonna do from in there?
I have this strobe light.
Strobe light? Wait, no, I'm epileptic.
Oh. That was easy. Okay then, onward to Friday the 13th. Okay. Wow, this is probably the most exciting review ever. I mean, for me, not for you. I might not do anything that's exciting, but Friday the 13th is an awesome franchise. Now, the reason it's not #1 on this list, and the only reason, is because it's not Halloween themed. It is scary, it is awesome, but it has little to do with Halloween. That's why the first review is going to be Halloween. I know that was kind of obvious, but that's how it goes. Okay. Rather than just try to summarize the whole thing up in general, I'm just going to explain every movie as quick as possible. Friday the 13th Part 1. Little people know this, but it turns out that Jason's not the killer in this one. It's his mom. His mom is psycho because her son drowned. We introduced the basic plotline of this. Many people thought Jason was the main character because they talked about him so much. No one ever even thought it would be his mother, so that was a good twist during the time period. Part 2. Jason comes back, so they finally figured out a way to get him back to life. He didn't really drown in the first place. He just went out to live in a shack his whole life. And we get to see the shack. It's all dilapidated. This time when he's unmasked, he looks more like a hillbilly mountain man. He has tufts of hair, and he has like a big, mustache and horrible teeth and everything. So I guess they made him out to be more country-themed this time. I don't know. Anyway, he dies this time by getting a machete through his shoulder. And, of course, he doesn't die. Part 3. Okay, so Jason takes out the machete, which supposedly killed him, and walks away. This one, he's about 2 feet taller, and he's bald. And has no hair anywhere. Weird. Anyway, so he goes to a farmhouse. This is actually my favorite one. This one doesn't take place on the lake. It's one of the few ones not to take place on the lake. It takes place in an old house called Higgins Haven with the main character, Chris, being in it. He hides in the barn most of the times, and he just lures people in to kill them. He lures like 5 people into the barn to kill them. And this is where he gets the signature, the hockey mask. First one he ever wears it in this one, and he doesn't really have a climactic thing, because they didn't think it would be a big thing at the time. They just needed something to cover him, because in Part 2 he wore a burlap sack. They needed something original, because the sack was way too, I think it was too hard to walk around in. They might have kept with it, but it was way too hard for the guy to run around with just one eye hole. So they're thinking of, okay, we need a new mask, and a lot of people are wondering, like, okay, I have the documentary, the Behind the Mask they released when the remake came out, and they said that, I guess, some people on the hockey were into hockey on the set, and they just thought hockey mouse. Whatever, it's now an iconic expression. Moving on, Part 4. Okay, this one is supposedly the last movie. It's the last one they originally wanted to be, and this is the last one I think has the original like feel to it, like a Friday movie with the dark woods and the camera angles and the music. After this it changed, but this one's still pretty awesome. Has Corey Feldman in it, who he showed up in a cameo in the next one, but this is Corey Feldman's Friday the 13th, which is my opinion, given his other stuff, probably the most ingenious thing he ever did, and was this one. So this time he dies by getting a machete in the head, and they thought they were going to kill him. The machete takes out the entire left side of his eye, and his head's basically split in half. So they figured out there's no way he can come back after that. Oh, they were wrong. Part 5. Okay, this one disappointed a lot of people. I really had no problem with it, but people had a lot of problems with this because Jason wasn't in it. It was just a guy masquerading as Jason. The difference between it was Jason has 3 triangular red marks on his hockey mask. This guy only had 2 blue ones, so I guess that was interesting. His names were Roy Burns, and which always made me remind of Mr. Burns off The Simpsons. Weird. Anyway, he killed people because his son died and he saw him dead, so that was the only motive for the movie. Ironically, this one has the least bloody utensils, like a cleaver. After killing someone else will have no blood on it. I don't like less blood in this one, whatever. Part 6. This is my favorite one. It's awesome because most of the time you're not even aware you're watching one. I mean, it has horror and everything, but this one has actual music. like music by like, you know, bands that performed it, not just like real live music. And it was really cool during the time, you know, the 80s and everything, but it has a feel to it. Like, there are parts that are scary as hell, and then there's parts you can relax and calm down. Oh, crap, more hell. So, yeah. Awesome. Part 7. This one is a little boring. I fast forward through most of it because a lot of it is talking based, because this girl, Tina, has psychic powers. I guess they try to put in, like, a second, like, meaning, like she's trying to cope with her powers. But all I translate that out to is a lot of talking and talking and talking. Oh, Jason kills it. Talking and talking until the end. So, when you're watching this movie, make sure your fast forward button works. Part 8. Awesome one. He goes to New York. He kills people in New York. He goes to Times Square. And that was actually the only part in New York. That and the Statue of Liberty. Everything else was filmed in British Columbia. Good old Canada. Yeah. Anyway, so after that movie, he died and turned back into a boy. But apparently that's not how he died, because they try to finish him off again. But it's like, oh, he'll just turn into a real boy. No, that was just one of Renee's weird hallucinations. I'm mentioning a lot of characters, but don't worry, you don't really need to know about them that much. They're all very flat characters. Part 10. Jason X goes to space. A lot of people hate this one just because it's so over the top, but it's actually pretty good. I like the science fiction angle and the horror angle. This movie's always on Sci-Fi Channel. It's never on AMC, like for horror. It's always classified under sci-fi, which I like. I'm a sci-fi fan. I can deal with it. Jason, okay, I'll give it like a B, okay? If I had to grade it, it'd be a B. Part 11. Also known as Freddy vs. Jason. This one I already reviewed, so let's go on to the next one. Part 12. This one is the remake, which I also reviewed. There we go. Alright, so that was my very quick recap of the Jason movies. And now you know why I did Freddy vs. Jason and the remake a little while ago. That way I could cut this review short. See? Thought of that ahead of time. Yeah. I'm not coming up with that on the spot. That's really why I did that. Okay now. So, wow, that was quick. 8 minutes? Wow, I did that whole thing in 8 minutes. Awesome. So, we ready for Scream? We're ready for Scream. Going on. Stupid penny. Going on. Holy crap, I forgot part 9! How could I do that? Okay, part 9. He goes to hell. Then he comes back. It's also a very good action movie. Good. I mean, good. It was good. Jason dies. He turns into a leech, and he dies. Now I know why I forgot it.